introduce yourself, I guess. Okay, so introductions, go.
I'm Chris. I teach grade 4 at Tazem in Muscat, Oman, an American school.
All right, cool. I found you through Marcello, because I've been watching the Coattail casts on YouTube, and then saw that he worked in Oman, which is in the GCC, and that's how I got a hold of you. Okay, so, sorry.
No, Twitter basically is what got this going, which is pretty amazing.
Right. Yeah, that was last year. Twitter was a much bigger part of it last year.
Sorry.
Okay. Dead space. All right, so let's start with the questions. All right, so do you think that, do you think that the changes we made this year were good, bad, positive, negatives?
Sorry, I broke up again. The first part, what'd you say?
The changes that we made this year to the project?
Yes.
What do you think of those?
I think they were great. I think the way you laid it out was perfect with having different phases. I like the kind of like the end-all project being realistic. It's tied into something that's relevant, that they might have a GCC train. So it's something that kids could be planning and kids that are here could actually be doing one day. Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I really liked it.
Yeah, okay. Drawbacks?
Drawbacks were only mainly on my end, not really understanding how I was going to incorporate all the things I need to teach about Oman. So we have to teach Oman in grade 4. So we get pretty in depth, and I noticed that some of the other schools made it felt a little more like they were doing it for the collaboration, the tech integration piece, but a little less for checking off standards. So next year we are going to start this unit, our teaching of the unit, a lot earlier, so we can be on time with the project.
Yeah, the front loading for me is like something that keeps coming up in reflections. Front loading for those standards that you have to make sure you tend to as far as geography and social studies, and then also digital citizenship too for us, kind of communicating just through text, but making it on point and polite. Yeah,
totally. I mean, yeah, right. The quality of a good response you had, or something, how to write a good quality comment and things like that are really important. And some of that stuff has really helped get them ready. And then learning in this past weekend, I learned a little bit about getting them understanding what they're doing, and then being aware that everyone's going to read it. So it's not just good enough. It's not just for me anymore. It's for everybody. And that's been a big turning point for them. I think it's why it's taken us so long to produce some of our things, because now they're going, wait, let's go look at it again. Someone else is going to see it, and which has been awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I like that part about it, the blogging and the authentic audience as well. All right. So how about, do you think for the most part that you and your students have met the project goals, and then what evidence are you seeing of that?
We're still in the midst of finishing phase 2. So I could better answer that question once we finish it all. What we did right now for phase 2 is we decided to have them make a Google slide similar to what you pushed out with the GCC slides. So each topic had a slide made, or 2 depending on what they decided, giving the information with a picture or whatever they could find that they could use. And then they were taking that and they were going to produce some other form of media to present the information. So it wouldn't just be a slideshow. That was what they kind of used to gather and organize their thoughts. And then we gave them 5 choices. They would use either Adobe Voice, Kahoot, Explain Everything, iMovie, and one other one I'm drawing a blank on right now. But they had 5 choices, and so in groups would take that now and create something that we could share with the other schools.
Nice.
But I only have 2 projects finished, but I mean, just finished like today. So I didn't have time to really sit there and assess it, but I can definitely answer that further when we're all done.
So just a tip there, when you go to look and comment and provide feedback on those phase 2 projects it can kind of be a nice sort of transition lesson into phase 3. If as you comment on the projects, the kids are taking notes on a separate sheet as far as what their stops could be. Do you know what I mean?
I see. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're kind of killing two birds with one stone, or one lesson. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, totally.
All right. That was just one of our learnings. Okay. So back to questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think we should do differently next year?
Next year, I mean, for me, I'd like my school to be on time. That would be great. Maybe stretch out the timeline so that there's a little more leeway with that. So, I mean, I feel like I really botched it this year. Last year, I feel like we were a little more on top of it. But maybe just because I'll know next year anyway, but we needed more time with phase 2. And so I had to communicate with Margot and just make sure that was cool. But then even where I was thinking I would be was a lot further than we chatted about. Does that make sense? But nothing to do with, if we can maybe just extend the timeline and stretch it out a little more, then to produce these projects, I feel like they need more than 2 weeks to really get there. Even if they had the slides ready, they still would need a good 2 weeks to really produce it, knowing that it's an authentic audience, like knowing that it's going to be. So I don't know if that'd be good, just add an extra week to each phase, so it'd be 9 weeks instead of 6, and then kind of tweaking it from there, if that's something you guys might want to consider. Or I know what I have to do on my end, so maybe I can get it to 6 weeks and be tight.
Right, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I want the project to still have the depth, but the teachers have expressed that they want to shorten the time frame because they feel like their their kids' interest died off a bit at the end. So I'm wondering, and then again, we had to do Kuwait and UAE presentations, but they had already completed their Bahrain presentation before we even started the project. So I wonder if that's an option. Like you had just said, what we could do is kind of front load and work on the phase 2 presentations before the project starts.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So would you see the Kahoots in that GCC slideshow being more of like at the end then instead of the beginning? So we'd really be getting ready for our countries to sharing, and then this maybe using that as like a summary of the GCC, and then you would finish with where would you put your training, like that kind of idea?
Yeah, or sort of a pre-phase, which would be, you know, cover your local social studies, geography standards, and then start phase 1 and keep it about GC. Phase 2 could be more of the presentation perhaps, and feedback and learning, and maybe just some more interaction, because phase 2 didn't have a lot other than responding to each other's blogs.
And we did a Kahoot hangout. We did one of those as well.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
On phase 2?
I did it with Margot. No, with phase 1, sorry. We're still chatting though. So we just responded to all of her information that she posted, and now we're going to give her class ours in hopes that she'll be able to do some of that also. And then we're still going to continue with phase 3, even though a lot of people are done.
Yeah,
so we
okay.
took a look at Tour Builder over the last weekend with Learning 2, and I think I'm going to introduce that and see how it goes. It's a little, grade 4, I feel like it might be a little challenging, but I think some kids especially will get into it since they're in groups. The more tech savvy kids can help the ones that are a little less tech savvy, and that's going to be, I think, the way we produce it. So
yeah, I think they're going to surprise you, actually. The kids, the technology wasn't the problem at all. For the 4th graders here, it was just all about the communication. That's where they really struggled with. And we just did it for the 2 classes, but they weren't allowed to talk face to face.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to pair any of your kids up with Margot's?
I think we're going to try to do, I'm hoping we can do like a final pair up. You mean like in terms of face-to-face, or?
So the teams, like there was 2 kids in Amy's class and 2 in Luke's, and they were collaborators on the Google Map. So they built it together. Yeah. So kind of simulating what we as teachers have had to do and build this project together without, ever having met.
I see. Okay. I didn't think about that, but something to consider for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we were glad that we didn't have the opportunity to do it with another school because it was such a steep learning curve just with the kids next door. So
Okay.
food for thought for you. Okay. So what's been your greatest learning in this project? And then if you know, what's been your kids's?
It's been my greatest learning. That's a pretty good question.
Sorry, it's not mine. It's Coattail's question.
One, don't ask my admin for permission.
Oh gosh, don't I know? Okay.
That's not published for anyone that knows him. No, it was funny to have to, I guess to have to fight to get the project was something I wasn't aware of. And this is last year. But, now no one's even checking in at all. I'm trying to promote and produce and show what's going on. But I think now that we've done it 2 years, no one seems to care. Most I've learned, I guess, is be on time.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think it's what you're saying. Like, I want to collaborate more with those schools. I want to definitely, we did that one hangout, one Kahoot, and the kids were just all over the place with fun and excitement and engaged. And like, my assistant principal came in at that point, thankfully walked in just informally, and like, we were screaming and yelling and, having a good old time when he's watching the Kahoot happen. And we had the little screen, and we're chatting in between stuff. And that was super, super cool. And I see what you're saying about having a little more of that happen along the way. I think with the technology, it's been nice that you've looked to like adapt and change also from last year to this year. So you've looked at what worked and what didn't. And things are running, I think, smoother with the technology piece than last year. Trying to think of it's a good question. I feel like I need to sit down and really think about. So I'm going to blow this for you.
No, you're not. That was a great answer. It was a great answer.
The
But
kids
you're right, because it is so cool. Like, even just getting to see your face. This is so cheesy, but like we've been working together for 2 years, and it's just really mind blowing, honestly, that we've done such cool things together for 2 years, but the cool part is when we get to interact and have a conversation.
Right, for sure.
To do that to let our kids do that, I think would be powerful. Yeah,
I think that's why my kids are still engaged, I think, because they started with that. Like, we really started with a quick chat and then a Kahoot, and they've stayed engaged, and now they've seen the other kids' stuff. And so no one said to me like, oh, like I'm burned out, or I'm done, or like I'm bored of this. Like, no one, because I think it's really exciting to them. And the fact that they've had some choices in how to present the media also has kept it where like it's not restricted to this one form, or so that gives them that freedom, and they feel really engaged by that too. So that's been good. Yeah, they've really had a lot of fun with it. Like, Puppet Pals is the other one I was thinking of. Sorry, Puppet Pals HD. They're using that to do a little presentation.
Oh, good. Yeah, you guys have one-to-one iPads. That's awesome. I wish we did.
Yeah, we're going in the right direction. Definitely. Like, our tech director before, he just left last year, but he's really worked behind the scenes, grueling for 7 years, like trying to get the school where it's at, and it's in a really good place. So
that's awesome. I so wanted that elementary tech spot, but I couldn't. They didn't have a science spot for my husband.
Oh, he didn't leave after all. He stayed.
Oh, he did?
Mine, yep.
You gonna leave next year? No, just kidding.
No, now it's 2 years. I know. No, I wanted to go for that job.
Yeah, get his coattail. Yeah.
Right. Oh, they just announced it like 2 or 3 weeks ago in a meeting. Because when he turned me down a while ago, and I was like, I was kind of bummed because I'm really into this and I enjoy it. But I get it, because now the school is at such a good place that like you don't want to have like a rookie come in and maybe screw it up. Oh. And then they were like, he's gonna stay. It's like, oh. So everyone was surprised.
You need longer to perfect your skills and
right. So sorry, what?
I said that just gives you a little longer to perfect your skills and get coattail under your belt.
Yeah, they just posted the cohorts open, so I think I might do it.
You should. Totally should. Okay. So you've answered the next question already. Do you have any ideas? So the final project, going back to that authentic audience piece, and obviously we'll share it with each other, but what do you think about the idea of perhaps, sharing it with with your community, if we could make some kind of movie, or I'm not sure if this movie will be appropriate or not, but somehow sharing the project out to our school community, and then perhaps maybe even like local news agencies.
Yeah, I don't see why not. The only thing I have to just double check on is to make sure one of my students is not in any of the video / pictures, but I've been trying to be aware of not capturing him in any way. Other than that, everyone else is a green light to be photoed and videoed. So I'd like for you to see the presentations that we have, and then see if there's a way to incorporate maybe a lot of the stuff that we're doing across schools, and just show off a little bit of how we use the tech, and you can still clips maybe, and I think that'd be really awesome.
I would love that. And actually it can be, you could even make some quick tutorials, and you can share those out on the Google community, and get people using some different tools. That'd be great. I know Jabail, their one-to-one iPad.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm sure they'd love that.
So you guys one-to-one laptop then, or is it just checkout basis?
We're one-to-one laptop. So, the programs that are web-based, we're good with.
Okay.
So yeah, heavy Google emphasis because, I don't know, of the collaboration part, I suppose. I feel like I had a question a minute ago, but oh yeah, what did you think about the Google community?
I'm still learning.
Versus last year it was really just email and Google Hangouts, right?
Yeah, I do like the Google Plus. I'm not familiar. I'm getting more familiar with it. So, and I see the value in it. I think that's a good way to keep things together. And I think I get a little confused about what we're sharing in Drive, and what I made a copy of, and who I share it with you or not already. That's what gets me more than anything else.
Okay, that's good to know, because I was thinking, along the whole front-loading theme that's going through all these reflection is, how can I front load for the teachers and make sure everyone knows how to use those tools, down to that shared Google Drive and how to put stuff in there, how to organize it on your side, also how to use a Google community, including turning on your notifications when someone posts.
Right.
Yeah, I had to teach the teachers here that, because Amy's like, what do you mean you posted? Yeah, so.
It's a good one. I think I have 2 new partners, and they're both not really they didn't go to learning conference with me, and they're into it. They're into it, but they're just not really fully exposed and extremely savvy. So their learning curve is a bit different. So I feel like that'd be a good idea for sure. And I could use the help in some things too, so. Okay.
Well, I'll do some if you do some.
Oh, great.
No, just kidding. Well, you
I'll do some with you. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, I think, unless you have anything else.
I have this whitey puppy here with me. Here, come say hi real fast. Here, Nugget.
There he is.
Come say hi.
He's shy. Oh, he is a puppy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Cute.
She's messing with me all the time.
When did you get her?
I picked her up in October, so she's my little rescue mutt.
Awesome. So you're going to be in Oman a long time?
I think she's going to be an international traveler. I think I'm taking her home because it's so hot here in the summer, and my housekeeper's gone this round, so.
So you'll take her out and back in?
I think so, yeah. She's going to be dealing with what I have to deal with,
All right, nice. I tried to have 2 children, so it can't be any worse.
Yeah, right. Well, I can put her down below. Your kid's got to go with you,
Oh, I know. Gosh, unless I sit in with some strangers.
Right on. By accident, right? You're like, oh, your sheet's over here.
Sorry, it was their fault. They didn't sit me by them.
Right.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. I know you said you had some things to do, but I really appreciate you answering my questions and participating.
As well. I really appreciate you doing all this. It's been a great time. So
Awesome. All right. And in the meantime, also network and find some people in Kuwait and the UAE.
okay, I got it. I'll keep it open.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I will talk to you when you finish up phase 2 and 3.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Take care.
See you later.